So today I got rid of all the garbage and I scrapped all the metal this morning. And then I started to clean a little bit more. I only got one garbage bag going right now, but I decided to make an aisle. I was cleaning a lot and then I started putting things away. So now I put this tall plastic, thing here. And I basically put everything that was in one of these boxes in it. My hoses, and I got a couple of spare parts up there. I'm going to put more, but that wasn't really, set in stone. Put all these gas cans and everything up top because they're light. These are new welders, and I can't believe how big a TIG welder is. This thing is huge. Compared to those, it's huge. This box is gigantic. I haven't even opened it yet. So then I decided to clean out this corner over here. So I had this rear end here that I forgot all about. So in lieu of like getting it out of here, I need it for I have a Valiant, and I'm just going to probably swap it, get it over with. I'm probably going to keep the transmission that I have for that setup, which was under there. Maybe not. I don't know yet. But I had an engine, and I listed it really cheap on Facebook, and I said it's going to be scrapped on Monday then, and I said fuck it. I bought this engine, I got the harness, I got the transmission. I may keep the transmission because I'm a little more privy to transmissions, to keep them, and just get rid of it, unfortunately. And I bought it for like a future project kind of thing, thinking about, something, and unless I can really, have a place for it, I'm probably just going to get rid of it. I have so much stuff, but what I did buy today are these two cabinets here. They're basically converted toolboxes. They put them on wheels. It's pretty ingenious. And this is not screwed in. Either it was off already or what. And then this guy here, this is all a welded thing, and this, the top is stainless, and I figured this would be a good welding table. Put the welder there for the TIG welder, especially that big ass guy. And I could put one on top and have the bottle nearby. And the good news about this, well, first I was putting it against the wall there, and I go, man, this thing really overhangs. So I could have unbolted it, where these bolts are, and probably flipped it around to some degree. The guy never even took this off until he showed me. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'll put it on this side because it'll overhang over my my tire machine, and because I don't really use the tire machine that much, and if I did, the tire machine will roll on a dolly, and this will roll on a dolly. Now the only problem is I have, my balancer is like tucked away in the corner here. This is like the most sense, place I can put it, but I'll have a new place for that. I'm going to try to sell these two propane guys. This thing is like a shopping cart from a supermarket. I don't know why I have it, and I got a whole bunch of crap on it. But basically, I thought I had very tight room because both of the toolboxes are 44 each, and this thing's 15. Whether it's right, I don't know until I take it out. But this is the side box. The box is huge. So I started worrying, but then I measured the toolbox. It's exactly the same as mine. It's 44 inches with the handles, which is such a ridiculous measurement to put. Yeah, but so I actually have, another 4 inches. So maybe I'll, have something like where I'll store these drive shafts or something. I'll see. But I moved this cabinet here. This cabinet was in that corner, and instead of putting stuff that's kind of dead, and I probably got to scrap some parts here anyway, but this I could never get on top. That's why I put almost nothing on top of it. I had the propane heater on top of it and a ladder on top of it, which I could still do, but at least I can get to it. As before, I couldn't even get to the ladder. It was a pain in the neck. So now I'm going to make this like another work area, just like this is a work area, back there with the thing and everything. So basically my idea is to put one toolbox there, one toolbox there. They're still waiting on another side box. So if the two side boxes are in the middle and you put plywood over it, then I can put that toolbox, which is new and I never used it, you know. It's not 30 inches, but it's something, I can put something on the side then, you know, that'll use up as much space. And now I have another one of these wooden ones, but all these other ones that I took down over here, I can put them all across here and around the turn here, you know, because most of the stuff is not that tall other than the press here. And this little toolbox was something, I used to have it behind the press. I kind of wedged it there, but this was also buried. Like I said, I may move that like over here. So where you put the tire sticks out, and that's the thinnest part. So yeah, you can run into it, but it's kind of out of the way. But the press could, you know, maybe go here. Oh, this is this thing is a contraption I made when I moved here. Basically, that piece of wood, which looked like shelving before, it fit just under there. That's where I put this cabinet. So it's a little bit high, but this is a high cabinet too, so it gives me more room. I'm going to debate what to do with that. I may leave it hooked up to this, but I was actually thinking that I may put this on that side and just hang it straight off a pipe coming from the beams, and, you know, maybe even go, you know, yeah, basically hold wood underneath it, put hurricane hinges like you see there, you know, and hold it up, and that'll be a thing where I can move it back and forth to lift an engine, as opposed to hooking up the whole engine hoist. And I put it more forward more. This is a big garage, it's long. So if I take the motor out over here, I can work on the stand, and then you push the car back as you go out. The only drawback of using something like that is that you pretty much can't leave the hood on. Sometimes you can. That being said, I have this monster chain hoist that I don't do anything with. It's in there, in that mess. And once I put this chain hoist, I can leave it on those rafters there and still use it for the same purpose. It's just that I'm never really using this. Most of the stuff I bring up there is not that big. It was just that I had so much stuff in the beginning. I was putting a bunch of stuff on here, and it was actually lifting up. It was pretty wild. And the only other time I used this is when I sold, I had a Cummins diesel that I sold, and I had the head on top of that, ironically, and that was over here. So what I did is I backed up his truck, I hooked up the cable to it, started lifting, and it kind of swung, and then I put it, you know, it swung over here, and then I put it right in the back of his pickup truck. So the same could be done with a chain hoist, and being I'm not really using it, and it was weird because I didn't want to, I wanted the torque multiplication with that pulley. So I mounted it on the wall here, and so when you turn it on, it goes up, and it basically stops against this piece of wood here. I can do the same thing. I was thinking also on that wall up there, and it'll be good to actually pull a car in. So if it goes up on the pulley, and only the pulley is holding up, you know, you could pull up the engine with the pulley, or you can pull a car in from outside, as opposed to having it on this wall where you can really only go this way, you know. So I thought it was actually, you know, yeah, if I put it on the far wall, I could pull a car in. I could also just put it on this side and do the same thing, and that way it'll clear room for this, and have it up higher and get mounted to that big header over there. And you know, and then I have to still get to this, but this is all predicated on, you know, what I get rid of here. But there's a lot of this can fit in everything I'm putting in. Just the idea is a lot of stuff I wanted to keep, but I parted with a lot. I probably scrapped close to 1,000 pounds of little stuff, you know, and I got more to go, you know, for sure. And it's definitely stuff I don't need. And I got a whole attic upstairs with stuff that I don't use anymore. So this thing here, I think, will serve me well also. Like I said, I have this key machine I've never used, you know. I bought it, never used it. So I got the AC, I get like a little AC station. I can get a key station, or I can put it in there, something like that, because it's close to all the other stuff that's going on over there. That toolbox won't be there. What else? Yeah, I think it'll keep the toolboxes will keep the cabinets off this side and keep it on this side. And what else? Yeah, this is just, as things get thinner, I'll be able to tell you know, where I can put things then, you know. This is basically, a lot of this is not junk, but it's just like stuff that's got to go somewhere. It's just small stuff. So I really only cleaned the top two shelves here. I know the bottom is going to be for, like, for a transmission or something like that. And, you know, there's a place for everything pretty much, because everything was up. It was funny how I had two cars in here, and now it doesn't look like you could fit one. So I got to change all these bulbs. They're all, even if it doesn't look like it, they're all pretty bad. You know, only one is working there. And what else? Got a lot going on here, you know, and I just like to make it a little more user friendly and actually be able to do something and be proud of my work, and also getting it done quicker, because I have the ability to go to a station and get it done. I can have tools everywhere now, as opposed to, like, I had tools everywhere, but they were all over the floor. I have a lot of tools, you know, even if they're, you know, even if I want to call them myself, call them cheap, you know, I don't have the best tools. I don't have Snap-on anything, you know, except for a couple of things. And granted, I still got them. And some things I got heisted from me a long time ago that I had more of, you know, that type of stuff. But I'm happy, and I'm kind of putting everything on wheels, you know. So I think I'm going to leave that thing on the dolly over there. Because the brake lathe, yeah, this is something that I've had. It was working in my old garage. I brought it here. The chain fell off. And this is, I came here in 2015. Chain fell off. Never used it again. And the thing is not that, you know, listen, I buy new rotors, believe me, it doesn't pay. But every time I have to get a drum cut or a rotor cut, they charge me $25 over here in Long Island, New York. So, and there's only one guy I trust doing it, because a lot of these people are idiots. And the other guys just phased it out. They just don't do it. And I even have adapters to cut 8-lug wheels. So, it's an old one, but it worked, you know. I really had no issue with this. Now, the reason why I would want to do that is because sometimes I had somebody come here during the summer at like 7 o'clock, and they begged me to do their brakes, because, you know, the people I know in the movies, and they were going to use the car in the movies, and hey, you can cut the wheel. I'm like, listen, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I can cut it. So I cut it. Other times, these old cars, you cannot find it at all. There is no finding the drum or the rotor without buying it used and then cutting it anyway. So that's another thing. So eventually I got to this, and then I also have a rolling cart here that I bought. That was the intention of using it, but, you know, in a certain sense, these are giant rolling carts, so who knows if you even keep that. You know, maybe I'll bring it home. But I'm sure there'll be room for it. I'm sure there's something I can do, and it's going to be more user-friendly when everything is said and done. So I'm pretty happy. So that's my progress. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it gets done sooner than later, and then I'll get to the attic when all this is done. And there's a lot of junk up there. All right, thanks for watching.